Hi, my name is Mark May, and I am an online software engineering student at the Flatiron School. Today, I would like to present to you my fourth project. Project's name is My Meal Planner, and the project requirements are basically to create an application on the front end using plain or vanilla JavaScript, and on the back end to use Rails as the server. So the inspiration behind this particular project is that one of my more favorite websites or recipe websites to go to is a website called All Recipes. And as you can see, it's a pretty extensive website where you can search for pretty much any type of recipe. There are several categories. You could actually do a generic search here for a recipe. Um, you can scroll down and there are a ton of pictures, but there are also a ton of bloatware, as you can kind of see. So the site like this can be pretty overwhelming for someone that is not accustomed to navigating the site. So I came up with the idea to actually use an external API. The API is called Rapid API, and within that particular website, there are a ton of different APIs for everything from sports to gaming to recipes to nature loving. There are a ton of different APIs out there. And there wasn't an API that actually allowed me to tap into various recipes. And there was something to the effect of like 300,000 recipes out there that you can actually query. So my application actually is broken down into two parts. One is a food-related question part, and the second part is a recipe part. With the food-related questions portion of the application, you could type in something as simple as carbs. Actually, we'll do this instead. Calories in one slice of chocolate cake. Chocolate cake. And if we hit enter, or go rather in this particular case, the query will return one slice of chocolate cake. There are 4.28 kilocalories. Okay, the amount covers 0% of your daily needs of calories. How wonderful. All right, but you could perform basic searches without entering complete sentences. Carbs and one slice of bread. Bread. If I can spell properly, that would help. And if you hit go, and there's your information. Okay, so this information is actually being stored in a database on the back end. So there are a couple of catches here where if you didn't enter anything, okay, you get a nice little alert stating that the field can't be blank. The application also allows for the user to actually delete or remove from the database the actual search. All of this is being done without actually refreshing the page, and that is one of the requirements of the application. So if we go down here to your recipes, the nice thing about this portion of the application is compared to the all recipes, you can basically enter in a search term. Let's do pizza. Okay. The remaining fields here are completely optional. You are required to enter in for the first field some sort of search criteria. The second field, we're just going to return, let's return 2 recipes. And then you have an option that's based on additional search criteria, main course, side dish, dessert, so on and so forth. What we're going to do is we're just going to select main course. Again, it's completely optional. And the cuisine, you have many options here too in terms of selecting a cuisine. We're going to say Italian for Italian pizza. Diet type, we are going to make it veggie. which goes completely against my dietary requirements, but that's a subject for another time. And we are going to make the pizza gluten-free. Okay, if you wanted to add exclusions down here in terms of ingredients also that you did not want to add, in this case, to the pizza, you could type them in here. You could type in onions, or, let's say olives. And when you click on Find Recipe, here are our two recipes that meet those criteria. So you have a watermelon pizza, actually two different watermelon pizzas that are different recipes. Okay, and so if you wanted to click on, let's say, this first watermelon pizza, we'll take you out to the website to give you greater details about that particular recipe in terms of the prep time, servings, other nutritional information. This is the external website that's actually tied to this particular recipe. So if we go back to the application, you'll see that the category is also dynamically listed along with the search criteria that we input. So let's say one more. Let's say pork. Again, we'll return one this time, and we'll also make it a main course. And this time we'll say French. And if we hit enter, or find recipes rather, there is our pork recipe based on the criterion that we entered. That was a main course, that it was a French cuisine. And again, if you clicked on the link, is where you can actually find out additional information about that particular recipe. And there's the external website again for this particular recipe. At this point, I'm not showing a picture loading of that particular recipe, but the page may still be loading. So again, if we go back, we have the ability to, once this is all said and done, we can certainly delete. The other thing that we have up here is a find recipe by. So if we wanted to just look at all of our pizza recipes, there are our pizzas. If we wanted to look at our pork recipe, there's our pork. And then if we wanted to look at all of the recipes that have been returned thus far based on our search criteria, there are 3 recipes. And once again, we do have the ability to remove these recipes. And if we click on delete, the recipes are gone. And pretty much that is it for this particular demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. The links to the actual website itself will be found below this video, as well as the blog and the GitHub repo. Once again, thanks for watching.